has made its way to our nation's capital, Nationals Park, and the crowd is buzzing here in Washington, D.C. From your Washington Nationals, Gio Gonzalez! Gio Gonzalez rings the bell, and the crowd goes crazy. The Firefighters trying to play spoiler. Backflips! Makes the catch! A moment here for Al Perez in the box. Ashley Lansdell on the mound.
All eyes are Robert Anthony Cruz.
3 years ago, I was signed by the Washington Nationals, and today, my dad is walking me up to home plate.
Robert Anthony Cruz! Walk-off home run!
This was one of his dreams, and what more could I say?
Danny record for most foul balls caught in a game.
It's something I'll never forget.
Bananas win 4-3!
The largest crowd in banana ball history, and you brought it tonight!
Last year on July 13th, the Bananas and Firefighters played in front of what was then the largest crowd in banana ball history, over 41,000 fans. Well, that record was broken a couple months later in Philly. Nationals Park will always hold a special place in banana ball history. We are thrilled to be back in our nation's capital, this time for a double dip, as we're bringing you back-to-back games from the district. The Firefighters are hungry for their first ever win in a big league park, while the Savannah Bananas look to remain perfect this year against the lads in red. It is the 17th banana ball game to ever be held in an MLB stadium, and of course it is the second time these two squads will do battle here in Nats Park, as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth with Josh Talevsky, Pico Scala. Happy Big Tiger Friday. Thank you so much for spending it with us here in virtual Banana Land. Now, we have seen these two teams do battle 4 times so far this year, twice in KC, twice in Anaheim. Each time the Bananas have come out on top, but they have been great battles so far.
Yeah, and pitching has been the strong point for the Savannah Bananas across these matchups with the Firefighters. The pitching staff entering with an earned run average of 3 against the Firefighters and averaging 3 outs in 3.5 minutes against this squad. We saw a year ago some big performances from some Bananas. Robert Anthony Cruz, a triple and a home run, and Ryan Cox, 5 trick plays. For the Firefighters, they've got to get something started offensively early, or else they are going to have more woes in MLB parks tonight.
Well, let's dig a little deeper on what the 5 games the Firefighters have played so far in big league parks have looked like, because it all started right here in Nationals Park a year ago, and then the 2 games in Kauffman Stadium we mentioned, and the 2 more in Angel Stadium as well. Some really close losses, and a couple games where if a ball bounces a different way, the Firefighters could have a chance.
Well, you saw arguably the closest loss was the one in Nationals Park almost a year ago, 4-3 loss. For the Firefighters, again, the offense has not been where they've wanted it to be in these big league ballparks. They need a couple more big hits in big situations, and they've nearly allowed twice as many points as points that they've scored this season. Also not a recipe for success.
Well, let's see if the Firefighters defense came here to rumble in D.C. They've got a youngster at the dish. Bill Leroy is on the call. See if this guy can crack a home run.
Is bringing the heat. Here comes pitch number 2. Oh, he fakes him out. Here it comes. Oh, and Matt Wolf is bringing all the trick pitches out. Doesn't seem very fair. Oh my goodness, split, take it easy. He says this is not a fair fight. Steals the ball, and now Weston has a fair fight against the Firefighters. Here comes a swing and a drive to center field. Matt Wolf throws to first. Over his head! Weston's going to be safe at first base. And now he's off to second. Ladies and gentlemen, with blazing speed, make some noise for Weston. The Firefighters are fighting each other. Peanut with a throw to third. It's not going to be in time. He's rounding third. Here comes the play at the plate. The throw home is not in time.
What a miraculous feat by the youngster right there. I think if you're the Firefighters, you got to chalk it up to you hope you got all your errors and trick plays missed out of the way early. I mean, absolute barrel off the tee. And then from there, Matt Wolf fields it cleanly, but it went downhill before the youngster came all the way around to score. Let's get the 11 rules of banana ball.
And this is the fastest, most entertaining game in sports. Rule number 1, win the inning, win the point. If you score the most runs in an inning, you get a point. The most points win the game. But in the last inning of Banana Ball, every run counts as a point. Rule number 2, there is a 2-hour time limit. No new inning can start when the clock hits 0. Rule number 3, if you step out of the batter's box, it is a strike. Rule number 4, no bunting. If you bunt, you're thrown out of the game. Rule number 5, batters can steal first. Rule number 6, no walks allowed. It becomes a ball 4 sprint until every position player touches the ball. Rule number 7, no mound visits. Nope. Rule number 8, if a fan catches a foul ball, it is an out. In Banana Ball, everything's in play, so you better be ready. Rule number 9, the showdown tiebreaker. If the game is tied at the end of 9 innings or when time expires, it is pitcher versus hitter with 1 fielder, and the hitter has to score. Rule number 10, the Banana Ball challenge rule. You, the fans, have the opportunity to challenge a ruling on the field. Rule number 11, the golden batter rule. A team can send up any batter to hit in any spot in the lineup. This is guaranteeing the best possible matchup at the end of the game when it matters most. These are the official rules of Banana Ball.
Good timing, Jesse Cole, just a little bit quicker than the young professor down on the field. We've got a packed house here in Nationals Park. Firefighters versus Bananas tonight. We're looking at a 7:10 p.m. first pitch. Tomorrow night, first pitch should be back closer to 7, and let's get it back down to the young professor for tonight's player challenge.
Between the Savannah Bananas and the Firefighters. You know, we are so excited to be here in our nation's capital. There is so much history in this town, and there's all kinds of monuments and tributes to our founding fathers here. And so we have a game to celebrate our founding fathers. It's called Finding Fathers. Here's how it works. Up in the crowd, we have 2 fans, one down the Banana side, one down the Firefighter side. And they are dressed like the founding fathers. The teams, when I say go, have to run into the crowd. They have to find that founding father, carry him all the way back here to home plate. The first team to bring that founding father back here will be the winner. This is Finding Fathers. Gentlemen, get ready, because on your mark, get set, go! Go find those fathers. All right, the Firefighters are off. The Bananas are off. I see fans pointing. Down the first base side, fans are pointing. They're showing them where to go. But we're seeing the same over on the first base side, way out in left field. There go the Firefighters. There go the Bananas. They've got to find the founding fathers here in D.C. But this is a big ball. Oh, wait. We've got somebody. There's a bald guy. He doesn't work for us. He's carrying him, and I don't know why. I don't know why that's happening. There's shenanigans afoot. But here we go. Coming down on the first base side. The Bananas have their founding father, and he is making his way down. They're hopping the fence, and they are on the field. The Bananas have a clear lane to victory here. Here they go. We're just dropping everything along the way. Oh, it's not going to be close. It's going to be by a landslide. Oh, with the squad from Ty Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say, give it up for your winners for Finding Fathers, the Savannah Bananas.
At this time,
Impressive victory for the Nanners in the player challenge, but the Firefighters hoping for the victory that really matters tonight. For more on that, let's get it on down to Zach Staten.
Peanuts, who wants your peanuts? Who wants peanuts? Hey, guys, I apologize here. We're doing our second job of selling peanuts here in the concourse, and it really isn't hard to sell Caden Greed's performance from last week in Richmond. First homer in Banana Land for you. Whole thing at Trick Place. How good are you feeling coming into this weekend?
I'm feeling really good. As a team, we're feeling great. We're riding that momentum into this week, and just keep playing with swagger and confidence.
All right, now we heard about the Major League Blues, Major League Stadiums. You guys are 0-5 in so far. How do you guys get that first win in MLB Stadium tonight?
You know, like I said before, just keep riding that momentum from last week. I think we gained a little bit of confidence and, like I said, some swagger. So we'll just keep that rolling into this week.
As we see Coach Perez go by, Coach, we're rooting for you here tonight. Now, I need to know, this is a very important question, so take your time on this one. You like your peanuts salted? You like them in trail mix? You like them the old school way, you just toss them out? How do you like your peanuts?
You know, trail, in the trail mix, y'all know what I'm talking about, in that little purple package. I don't know what the brand is, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's all right. Well, if you can hit another, I promise you, we will try to get you some, all right?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, that is Caden Green, starting at shortstop tonight. Had a whole thing of trick plays last weekend. Had his first home run in Banana Land. First headliner for the Firefighters, boys. We'll see if we can get him a couple more peanuts. Until then, I'm a big boy. I need to go find a snack because now I'm hungry.
Let's do it, baby.
Good luck, Zach. Thank you for the time and insight, Peanut. 2022 Collegiate Banana, Coastal Plain League champion. And back in Banana Land with the Firefighters, tied for the team lead with 8 trick plays on the year with their star Logan Lacey.
Yeah, and he's impressing a lot of his opponents as well. He's gotten compliments on his defense from Bananas, Party Animals, even Texas Tailgaters. The interesting note on Caden Green was that coming into this season for the Firefighters, we thought he was going to be another one of those glove-first shortstops for this team. But it turns out the offense might be really taking a huge step forward, as I don't think we were expecting a home run for Caden Green through his first 9 games with these Firefighters. And he might be starting to hide in this bottom part of the lineup, but if he can have another 3-for-3 performance like he had last Saturday, he should be feeding the top half of this lineup really, really well tonight.
Yeah, Peanut in the 9-hole tonight, sandwiched right between Stephen Cullen in the 8-hole and Noah Bridges at the bottom of the lineup. And if you can get those guys swinging it, this Firefighters team completely transforms.
Well, the really interesting note about the Firefighters that I've come across through their first 9 games, they are batting below 200 in innings 1 through 3 of play. They have gotten off to incredibly slow starts offensively. So they've got to figure out a way to get on the board early and make the Bananas feel a little pressure here tonight in Nationals Park.
Well, the cast and crew continues to parade through down on the field, and the pregame shenanigans step on the gas a little bit. Just some data to back up what you're saying, where you didn't expect Caden Green to have a home run within the first 9 games of the year. He was terrific with the Great Falls Voyagers last year in the Pioneer League in his professional baseball debut. Across 35 games, hit .342, had a .399 on base percentage. Really impressive numbers. Did not have a home run. That was in 35 games. So he has gotten the long ball out of the way a lot earlier in his banana ball career.
And we also saw him as a collegiate banana play 19 games for them in the summer of 2022. That, of course, a wood bat league, so very similar to what we're seeing here in banana ball. The most he had for the Savannah Bananas were 3 doubles across that span. Again, he wasn't a guy known for a lot of pop, but boy, did he play a mean shortstop for that squad. And he's got versatility to play other positions on the diamond, although I don't think they want to move him anywhere outside of shortstop.
No, and that completely makes sense right there. All right, let's get it on down to the guy who ended up playing a lot of infield after Peanut took off for Auburn, DR Meadows, a 2022 Collegiate Banana. He's going to have our fan warm-up.
So I need everyone here to get on your feet. I need all of you to get on your feet and help me welcome out 5-year-old Holly. What's up, Holly? Your job is very important. We're all ready for this game, but none of these fans are. So whatever you do, they have to do. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you really ready?
Yes.
Crank it sharp. Show us what you got, Holly. I'll get those hands together, y'all. Hey, baby. We've been doing this all night, guys. How do you know this one? You got a lot of energy today, Holly. Or spinning and jumping. The sprinkler! Jumping jacks! We all need jumping jacks, guys. Get those hands together, y'all. Holly, look around. You just got 35,000. Oh, a cartwheel. Give it up for Holly!
What a fantastic job by that young lady. High fives galore as she races off the field. Boy, is it amazing to be back in Nationals Park. This is such a wonderful venue for Banana Ball. The young professor is about to get the folks fired up. Prepare your voices.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and potassium enthusiasts from around the world, tonight, you and thousands of your friends here live and millions more watching at home have gathered here to witness something beyond your wildest imagination. From Montana to Savannah, from the Isle of Man to Tokyo, Japan, the Banana Maniacs come from across the globe to witness this. This is not baseball. This is the crucible where the fastest, hungriest, and most entertaining players are forged. This is a game of the fans, by the fans, and for the fans. But this is not your granddad's pastime. This is not just another night at the ballpark. This game is baseball by birth, fruit by name, an absolute worldwide phenomenon by the grace of God. This is the time for all 41,000 fans here in Washington, D.C. to get on your feet and give me your voices. Because this is the greatest show in sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Banana Ball! Let's meet the starting lineup for your Savannah Bananas! Leading off the center fielder, number 5, T.R. the Doc Neto! Batting second, the extra hitter, number 7, Ty to Fly Jackson! In the 3-hole, the designated hitter, number 19, Dan Oberst! In the cleanup spot, left fielder, number 15, we call him Rat, Robert Anthony Cruz! In right field, wearing number 2, Reese Superman Alexiadis. At shortstop, number 6, he is our glove magician, Ryan Cox. At first base, number 3, Eric Jones. Behind the plate, we've got the captain, number 1, Bill LaRoy. At third base, he does it all. Number 18, Danny Hosley! And at second base, wearing number 8, he is our greatest showman, Jackson Olsen! On the mound for your Bananas tonight, number 88, Noah Nisner. Your Savannah Bananas are managed by Tyler Gillum, assisted by Adam Virant, Eric Fox, and Reggie Hortes. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Here to honor America with the singing of tonight's national anthem, please welcome Lucy Hanson.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we
Lucy Hinton.
You are watching Game 55 of the 2025 Banana Ball World Tour. The fifth battle between the Firefighters and the Savannah Bananas of this season. So far, the Nanners are 4-0. They sit at 20-23 on the tour. The Firefighters have defeated the Party Animals. They have defeated the Tailgaters. They would like to make it a perfect 3-for-3 in their opponents this year, as they still search for that elusive first victory in a big league park. This is the lineup they send. Joe Lytle, the catcher, leading off. Then Liam Spence, Logan Lacey, and Dalton Cornett cleaning it up. Dakota McFadden, Mason Maxwell, and Ron Franklin, 5 through 6. And at the bottom, Stephen Cullen, Caden Green, and Noah Bridges.
When his fifth World Tour, it's still the man in the 5-hole for the Firefighters, Dakota McFadden, who's having the hottest start of any player on this squad so far. Hoping that continues tonight in DC.
Let's get a gander at the Nanners' defensive alignment. Left to right in the outfield, Robert Anthony Cruz, D.R. Meadows, and Reese Alexiadis. In the infield, third to first, Danny Hosley, Ryan Cox, Jackson Olsen, and Eric Jones Jr., while the man with the mask is Bill Leroy.
Well, the guys you got to focus on are the outfielders in tonight's contest for the Bananas. Robert Anthony Cruz, the former Nationals minor leaguer, has already set a new career high in trick plays. He's at 30 entering tonight, and it's Meadows, 10 trick plays away from 100. Reese Alexiadis, he's 6 trick plays away from becoming the second outfielder to 50 trick plays in a season.
And the man at the middle of it all, Noah Nisnik, 5 for 5 on the tour in his trick play attempts, has been red hot on the mound since April 13th, and he's coming off his best start of the year. In fact, the best start of the year for any Banana. 5 innings, no runs, just 1 hit, 1 sprint, and 5 strikeouts. He was absolutely dominant last outing against the Party Animals.
This is the 13th start of the season for Noah Nisnik, who has a 2-2 record. He has a 3.86 career earned run average in MLB parks, but it's the numbers since April 13th that really stand out for Niz. 23 innings, only 7 hits allowed, a 1.96 earned run average, and he's averaging 3 outs in 3 minutes and 18 seconds in traditional baseball stadiums. This is excluding the stuff that we saw in Clemson, Nashville, and also Charlotte. But Nisnik pitching in a classic baseball stadium has been on another level for this Bananas team, and he's also undefeated in his career against the Firefighters.
Let's get it down to the young professor.
Special here. This is called the first pitch that counts. We're going to bring out a special guest to throw the first pitch, and whether it's a strike or a ball, it will count. Any count against the first batters of the Firefighters. This first pitcher tonight is a longtime friend of the Savannah Bananas organization. Representing We Got Ice and John Boy Media. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jack Doyle. All right, Jack. Noah Nisnik hands off the ball, and here we go. Ball 1, but give it up for the first pitch that counts from John Boy Media, Jack Doyle, everybody. All right, DC, I know you're ready to get this thing underway. So when I count to 3, I need everybody here as loud as they can to yell out, "Start the clock." 1, 2, 3. Showtime!
So Joe Lytle starts with a 1-0 count, thanks to Jack Doyle with his main man, Zoe. Those are the guys from We Got Ice. And that is a gut-wrenching end to what has been a really fun journey. That is 5 first pitches that Jack has got to toss out over the last few months. It was a 3-1 count coming into tonight. That is now a walk on the imaginary hitter that he started facing in Arizona and Chase Field, home of the Diamondbacks. Got 3 minor league ballparks, then in front of over 41,000 fans here in Washington, D.C. Fires one, That would be up and out to Joe Lytle. Then Noah Nisnik follows it up with 3 straight balls. So Lytle with a big turnaround first gets a 3 pass. All 7 Bananas fielders behind the pitcher and catcher have to touch the ball before it is live. Joe content with 1 base on his 2nd sprint of the tour.
Just goes to show the power of that first pitch that counts in Banana Ball. Noah Nisnik a little behind the curve, couldn't find the zone on his first 3 offerings to Joe Lytle, and it's an early sprint that was just a hair outside of his control.
Yes, and he finds the zone on his first offering to Liam Spence, holding down 2nd base tonight. And now behind 0-2. We saw the same thing happen to Correll Prime in Charlotte when Luke Kuechly started his night off with a ball. Prime followed it up with the sprint to Reese Hampton. Nice fight there by Spence. Chance for the fans, though. They do not make the catch. And another life for the Aussie. Another chance for the fans. Into the 2nd deck. Bobbled. Vincent Chapman making the call. It's confirmed by first base umpire David Pritchett. The fans went wild, but it was not a clean catch. So Spence still draws breath. Another 0-2. Another chance for the fans. Back to the same spot. Not caught. Boy, Liam playing with fire.
Right now, they're just more and more motivated to try and get Liam Spence out early in this contest. And you hear more gasps and more anticipation as Spence is able to battle off those pitches and eventually take the 0-2 from Nisnik into left field. Now 2 on for the Firefighters, still nobody out.
Really impressive plate appearance from Spence out of Geelong, Australia. Former Cubs minor leaguer after he was a star at the University of Tennessee. And he's off to a great start to his Banana Ball career. Came in hitting .313, 2nd highest batting average on the Firefighters.
One of just 2 Firefighters batting over 300 so far through 9 games on the season. Shouldn't necessarily surprise you, though, considering he hit .350 across his college career.
2 balls and a strike on Logan Lacey, the star of this squad, who I would wager will be north of 300 with the batting average. And not too much time. He's got a couple ducks on the pond. 3-1 from Nisnik. This one sprayed out to right. Moseying in, Reese Alexiadis. He's going to grab the tip drill trick play and heads up move. Joe Lytle, you're able to take off on a tag attempt as soon as it hits a fielder. So that extra time, Alexiadis waiting for the ball to come back down. Lytle able to grab an extra 90.
Yeah, and the hardest thing for a position player is trying not to tip off the fact that you're going to try a trick play there. Lytle had a close eye on Alexiadis. He didn't really give any sort of sign that he was going to try and collect the trick play there. Nonetheless, Lytle a very wise tag and now 90 feet away from scoring.
Past Nisnik. Cox, he gets jammed, and Cornett barreling down the line is going to beat the wrap. What looked like off the bat it could be a double play turns into no outs for the Bananas, and the Firefighters strike first. They've got to run. Joe Lytle with the boys bringing the ladder down the left field line.
Well, this is again the start that the Firefighters needed in this Banana Ball game, batting below 200 through the first 3 innings of play, and they've got an early run here in the first inning as Joe Lytle's the man scaling the ladder and celebrating with the fans by that left field foul pole.
Now Dakota McFadden, the team leader in batting average. D-Mac here in his 5th World Tour. The veteran player coach on this squad hitting .350 with an eye-popping .519 on base percentage. Leaves the zone, but Nisnik fires the 1-1 low, so D-Mac back ahead in the count. Spence off second, Cornett off first. The official scoring ruling on the DC-3 grounder.
I think Eileen hit that it was such a slow roller off the bat.
You're getting no argument from me. Tough play for Ryan Cox, crashing in as that one just got past Nisnik. And now a full count on the Firefighters' extra hitter. Big swing and a miss. Nisnik needed that. Gave him gas right down the chute and blows it by him. This with a little entertainment. Straight to Ian Schrift's camera. And another look at his first strikeout tonight.
Yeah, big punch out for Noah Nisnik. Decided to challenge McFadden, feeling best in his control with that fastball. Now goes to work and gets ahead of the lefty Mason Maxwell.
One run across, but you know Val Perez and company would love some insurance here in the first inning. Mason Maxwell trying to cash in. He's ahead 2 balls and a strike. This is not the control that we have seen from Noah Nisnik across the last 2.5 months. He'll step off. Cox was behind Spence at second. And another 3-ball count. Mason Maxwell out of Newfield, New Jersey. Only has 1 home run on the tour. They'll take a sprint here. That will score at least 1. Once again, the Bananas need to bring it around to every fielder behind the pitcher and catcher. They do so in textbook, very efficient fashion. But now a 2 spot for the Firefighters. And Maxwell up to 5 runs driven in on the tour.
Well, Maxwell is hitless across his last 13 plate appearances for the Firefighters, but that a productive one nonetheless. A sprint with runners in scoring position, a second insurance run in the inning for the Firefighters, and Nisnik has had 4 3-ball counts here in this opening frame.
Ron Franklin is the 7th man to swing it. Here in the top of the first for the Firefighters. Runners at the corners. He's behind 1 and 2. That has been called Hot Boy Ron since the middle school days. Nickname that just caught on. He started his banana ball career with a bang. First hit was a home run in Anaheim. He gets a piece of this. Fouls it off of himself. And we'll get another 2-2. He's our Dunkin' Donut batter of the game. The fans want a strikeout. Another 3-ball account. That is 5 of the 7 batters that have hit against Nisnik. Payoff. Lined right to the mitt. Danny Hosley, the hometown kid, staunches the bleeding. But 7 batters come up. 2-run score. Firefighters have a great chance at a point.
A long 33-pitch inning for Noah Nisnik in the top of the first inning. And the Firefighters able to do a little damage. 2 knocks and 2 ball force sprints lead to 2 runs as you get one more look at Hosley snaring the line out.
It could have been worse if not for the quick hands from the man at the hot corner. Get a look at the numbers here for Neil Lang. Big cat. What a phenomenal start across 7 1/3 innings to his banana ball career after 7 years of independent professional baseball.
Well, this is his 2nd start of the season, his 5th time on the bump overall. Lang has played in 7 different indie ball leagues, throwing nearly 500 innings. And now the 30-year-old finally draws a start in a major league ballpark. And across June, he's tossed 5 scoreless, hitless innings for the Firefighters. His longest frame, 3 minutes and 5 seconds.
Here's the defense behind Curley. Left to right in the outfield, Noah Bridges, Franklin, and Maxwell in the infield, 3rd to 1st. Lacey, Green, Spence, and Cullen with Lytle behind the dish.
Well, Lacey and Green, the 2 men on the left side of the infield, have been pretty sensational for the Firefighters, tied for the team lead in trick plays, and each of them had multiple trick plays in the Firefighters' win last Saturday against the Texas Tailgaters.
And you don't see Isaac Parra out there, a guy who has started the majority of the games this year for the Firefighters, because he just had his 2nd child. A big congratulations to Isaac and his wife, Heather, Nevaeh, and Parra. Born today, not even 24 hours old. And Ozzy, the stud that he is, 3.5 years old, going to turn 4 in September, has a younger sister. Here's the starting lineup for the Savannah Bananas. Meadows, Ty Jackson, and Oberst due up in the first, then Rack, Alexiadis, and Cox, with E.J. Leroy, Hosley, and Olsen to round it out.
There's no better man to have at the top of the order than D.R. Meadows right now, who is batting .524 in the month of June. and has recorded nearly 27% of the Bananas' total hits this month.
Oh, an incredible, just a remarkable stat that is. Oh, that is mind-boggling. DR squibs that one foul. Banners need to get a guy on before they can think about tying this inning. Vincent Chapman, express delivery service of the banana ball straight to laying on the mound. The boatload of energy, the pride of Texarkana, Texas. This one rolled over. Wow, behind the back play. Oh, behind the back at first. Logan Lacey to Stephen Cullen. That's one of the best trick plays you'll ever see.
Double behind the baction for the Firefighters in the opening frame. Lacey, sensational at the hot corner, and Stephen Cullen with some magic of his own. That is the start Neil Lang could only hope for in this ball game.
Now Ty Jackson elevated to the 2-hole. He was a spark plug for the Bananas in their victory last Saturday night against the Party Animals. And a chopper up the middle, past the dive of his former Coastal Plain League Bananas teammate, Caden Green. Ty continues to pour in the offensive production as of late. Dan Oberst digs in. And a slow tapper to the left side. Lacey attacking on the run. Just in time over at first. Another sparkling play from Logan Lacey. Now 2 down.
Yeah, great charge by Logan Lacey. Oberst with pretty great speed for a designated hitter, so no time for a trick play for Logan. And the Bananas have come out extremely aggressive against Old Curley. Just 5 pitches into his outing, and 3 batters have come up to the plate, and Rapp jumps ahead 1-0.
The former Washington Nationals minor leaguer gets to play his second game in the big league park of the big league team he was in the minor league system of. Homered last year here in Nats Park. What a magical moment that was. Added a triple as well. He's behind the ball and 2 strikes here. Neil Lang induces a chopper over his head. Caden Green to first in time. And the Firefighters skunk the Nanners in the first. They lead 1-0.
And it's more quick work from the lefty on the bump for the Firefighters, Neil Lang, with a 2-minute and 32-second frame as the Firefighters grab the first point.
Let's get it on down to our fireside chatter. Zach Staten.
All right, Biko, Josh, thank you very much. I'm here with the boys from Got Ice. That's Jack, that's Zoe. First of all, Jack, some heat there. What happened, man?
I like the velocity. I'm going to answer this like I'm kind of like in the game, and it really, well, it does count as a ball devastating. The question was, I don't know what happened. I think I tried to throw it a little too hard, and I didn't follow through.
And that ends your first pitch world tour.
Yeah, that will be a walk. Yeah, it's tough. I think what happened was I just launched it a little too high in the air. It's kind of like NASA style took off, but if you're going to fly a spaceship, you're going to have to crash some eggs along the way. We're going to just brick by brick build back up.
For the Firefighters, we do thank you for the early ball. So first banana ball game for you guys. What's this atmosphere like for you?
I mean, being here all day long, watching the players warm up, and like it's really resonating me with when it's time to grind. You got to be ready to grind, and these players are ready to grind, man.
Awesome. Well, hey, you guys enjoy it. We got ice, and guys, we got more banana ball.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you so much, Jack and Zoe. They nailed it. I may or may not have given them a couple phrases they had to work into their interview tonight. Son of a gun. Those guys are pros. They both got it in there. As soon as Jack said launch, I knew the spaceship line was coming. And Zoe didn't have a lot of time to work with. Bang. When it's time to shine, you've got to be able to grind. He was on it. Foul ball. Fans not on that one. Bottom 3 in the order due to swing it here in the second inning. Stephen Cullen, Caden Green, and Noah Bridges. And that one blasted deep out to center. DR Meadows on his horse to the track. It's going to be off the wall. Cullen heading towards second. He'll stop there. A booming double to the deepest part of this park to get our second frame going.
And that's Stephen Cullen's first hit since May 30th for the Firefighters. He came in with just 2 hits on the season. And now finally has that first big blast on 2025.
Next up for the Firefighters is Caden Peanut Green. Escorting him to the plate is Lieutenant Keisha Jackson. Keisha Jackson has served for 21 years and is the first female to be assigned to the Homeland Security Special Operations Division. Fans, please give it up for our firefighter of the night, Lieutenant Keisha Jackson.
It was so cool when we get to honor the firefighters who are heroes in their community, extra special in a big league park in front of over 41,000 fans. Heroes getting the recognition they deserve. Now Caden Green behind 0-1, swinging a hot bat as of late. Batting average at .250 on the tour. This one to foul territory. Danny Hosley behind the back. You bet. The 1,000th trick play on the tour comes from Danny Do-It-All in his hometown.
Well, last year it was in Cleveland, Ohio. We saw the 1,000th trick play between Ryan Cox and Eric Jones Jr. Now Danny Do-It-All with his 21st of 2025 gets to 4 digits on this 2025 World Tour.
What a day for Haas. Chance for the fans now. Noah Bridges to the second deck, not caught. Hosley was out on the party plaza with us pregame. Guy who grew up in Vienna, Virginia. Less than 20 miles down the road, depending on the route you take. He was a star at George Mason. Got to shut the door on the Firefighters last year. It was a nasty Vulcan change to strike out Stephen Cullen. Nailed down a 4-3 victory. Now he starts at third base. We expect him to end this game on the mound again.
And he told us that just being here in Nationals Park was probably his favorite memory throughout his World Tour experience, getting escorted by the Secret Service into the ball game. Just a really unique experience, and certainly one of the coolest entrances that I would say I've ever seen.
Bouncer to the right side. Tough hop, EJ hangs with it. Oh, look at Noah Bridges fly. He beats the wrap at first. Led the Firefighters last weekend, their first ever 2 games as the home team. He picked up a pair of walk-offs. One of them was on a similar play, a slow tapper in the infield, showing off the speed and the official scoring decision on this one, Josh.
I think that's got to be a trick play missed.
See, the rain is coming down here as back at the top of the order, Joe Lytle into a backflip catch from D.R. Meadows. It will be a sac fly. Lytle picks up his 6th run driven in on the tour, but for a second straight inning, the Firefighters with a run across. And how about this for a celebration? That's physics right there, folks. Mr. Vanderpool will be proud of this one. The centrifugal force pulling off that stunt.
Well, fun stuff for the Firefighters and really fun stuff from D.R. Meadows in center field. Now up to 91 trick plays on the season. Knew that Cullen was going to be able to advance and score easily, so opted to just go ahead and get one of the highest level of difficulty trick plays there is and land that backflip catch.
Liam Spence cranks this. It's going to be into foul territory. This would be an unreal catch by the fans. Hey, pull it off! Son of a gun! That thing went to the moon and back, and when it came down, a fan was able to snag it cleanly. Our first foul out to a fan of the ball game. after the Firefighters game 1 last weekend down the road in Richmond combined with the Tailgaters to set the Banana Ball record with 6 foul outs to fans.
Well, this is just the 10th game of the season for the Firefighters. They have already fouled out to fans 14 times this year. They've been incredibly unlucky.
Let's talk Banana Ball basics here in the middle of the second inning. We're talking about sprints. Rule number 6, no walks are allowed. If a pitcher throws ball 4, we've already seen the Firefighters pick up a pair, it becomes a sprint, and the hitter can advance to as many bases as they want before every defensive player has to touch the ball.
And of course, we saw one of the rarest things in Banana Ball, as last Saturday it was Ty Jackson who was able to come away with a 4-base sprint for the Savannah Bananas. The first of 2025, the first since June 19th, 2023. Throw from ball home got away from all the defenders, and Jackson's elite speed brought him in. Now you get a look at the all-time sprint data. We have seen 14 all-time 4-base sprints. That's less than 1% all-time, but believe it or not, 2 have happened in the last 2 Banana Ball games, as we saw a mental mistake from Fisher Polidora led to Armando Becerra claiming a 4-base sprint for the Party Animals in Louisville.
Yeah, that was last night. It's one of those things. I love sports, I love baseball, and its brainchild, Banana Ball, oh so much. You just never know what you're gonna see at the yard. This one gets past Lacey, backhanded between the legs, Caden Green, what an arm. I mean, that was a perfect throw across the diamond. Unfortunately for the Firefighters, Reese Alexiadis runs like the very wind itself, so it'll be an infield single, but not for lack of trying. Peanut, I mean, that was unreal range, trick playability, and arm power all on display at the same time. All for naught. The Niners have the tying run on. 0-1 count here on Ryan Cox, who just continues to up the ante with the bat. Banana Ball's all-time trick play leader, has led each of the last 3 World Tours in the trick play department, but he has never hit like this. I mean, it is unbelievable. 316 batting average, a 409 OBP.
And on a 5-game on-base streak right now for the Savannah Bananas as well. He's got hits in 4 of his last 5, but has also tacked on some timely ball 4 sprints as well. And a lot of the stuff he's done has come in the clutch. He's tied for the team lead in walk-offs with 16.
Sticky situation for Neil Lang, who's found so much success in his young Banana Ball career by pounding the zone. 3-1. And now 3-2. Cox was taken all the way. Got a meat ball. He said, let's see you do it again, Big Cat. He does do it again. And Cox spoils it, as he does so often. This is a battle between Titans. Lang hardly ever gives up sprints. Cox hardly ever strikes out. Another payoff. Slap the other way. Into foul territory. Lacey runs out of room. The fans do not make the catch. And we get an 8th pitch from Lang to Cox.
Well, this is what makes Ryan Cox so great in the middle of this Bananas lineup. A guy who just refuses to strike out. And on the 8th pitch, hits this one up the middle. It's a glove flip try from Liam Spence, but not right on top of that second base bag. Pulls Caden Green away, and it's back-to-back singles now for the Savannah Bananas.
Neither left the infield, but neither were easy plays at all. In fact, the first one was an impossible play to make by Peanut. Would have been a dazzling defensive play by Liam Spence there. Wasn't able to make it happen, and now Eric Jones Jr. Hot rod into left. Alexiadis gets a stop sign from Gillum. Malachi Mitchell, the designated runner, was off last weekend up in Nashville on a bachelor trip with one of his best friends from the Florida A&M days. He's going to be his best man for. A noble reason to miss a weekend of Banana Ball. Ty Jackson got 2 designated runner opportunities. Dalton Malden took the spot last Saturday night, but now the fastest man in Banana Land is back. And he is the inning-winning run in scoring position for the 8-year Banana Bill Leroy. Nowhere to put the Niners catcher. Alexiadis off third, the inning tying run. And Bill ahead, 1 out. 3 straight singles The plate is set for Bill. Now it's time to eat. 2 balls and no strikes. 3-0. And ball 4 wins the inning for the Bananas. Bill swinging! Foul, just barely, down the third baseline on the 3-0. That was an inch or two the other direction, inning would have been over.
Well, I love the thought of swinging there from Bill Leroy, seeing the Firefighters outfield shifted so in. Bill trying to put something over their heads and bring in 2 runs easily, and you see the same approach on 3-1, although we found that one back to the screen.
Base is chucked from 3-0 to 3-2. Slashed down the right field line. Bill Leroy, walk-off double. And we are tied at 1 point each with Flash, a backhand spring to home plate. Bill Leroy, his 10th walk-off of the year.
4 straight hits in the inning for the Savannah Bananas. They do not even record an out, and they have drawn themselves even with the Firefighters now through 2 innings of play on the back of their captain, Bill Leroy.
We're knotted at 1. We'll get it down to Maceo and the fellas for a player dance. Superb stuff, as per usual, from Maceo, with KJ, Philly, Ziggy, and Big Arch out there with him. And Logan Lacey is about to start off our 3rd inning in style. Let's see what Showtime's got. Started screaming Showtime at Logan's games when he was in Little League. When he was coming up to the plate, his grandpa would say, "What time is it?" All the fans would yell Showtime. And boy, he has brought the electricity to Banana Land. A man of multiple nicknames. He's picked up the electrician here because he literally was working in low voltage electrical work for the city of Tallahassee before he took over career-wise as a professional banana ball player. I mean, it's a Paul Bunyan-esque type story. He's just unreal.
And the numbers throughout his banana ball career have been Paul Bunyan-esque as well. He's 6 for 12 lifetime against one of banana ball's best starters in Noah Nisnik.
That one past the dive of Hosley into left. And Lacey, 1 for 2 on the night, flew out to right his first time. Starts the visitors' half of the 3rd inning in style. He's aboard for Dalton Cornett. They're in his 4th Banana Ball World Tour. First 3 were with the Party Animals. This is year 1 as a firefighter. A huge offensive weapon added to this sophomore Firefighters squad.
And leading the team in runs batted in so far with 6.
His buddy behind the dish, Joe Lytle, just tied him in that department in the 2nd inning with the sac fly. So rare you see the team's 2 catchers pacing the squad in stakes. But it's not rare in Banana Land to see a pitcher pull in his second baseman, shortstop, and center fielder to do a dance. That happens about once a game. And Cornette, taking advantage of the unique defensive alignment, slaps that right to where Ryan Cox should have been. Picks up a knock. Lacey scampers up to second.
Well, he hit it perfectly. Dalton Cornette, a Banana Ball veteran, knows right where to place that ball. And you got to give a lot of credit to D.R. Meadows coming out of that 3-2-2 defense to range over into shallow left center and slide to keep that ball from turning into extra bases and a possible run scored in the inning for the Firefighters.
2 on, nobody down. 0-1 pitch to Dakota McFadden. Struck out swinging his first time. But what a tale of 2 starts for Noah Nisnik. He cruised through 5 one-hit innings against the Party Animals last Saturday night. It has been a laborious first 2+ innings here against the Firefighters. D-Mac down swinging for a 2nd time tonight. Nisnik once again goes to the fastball for the punch-out. And the St. Louis kid once again celebrating in style. Once again, gas blown by McFadden.
Well, if you can't adapt to what you're offering, don't really change your style. Noah Nisnik able to come away with his 2nd punch-out now. Both have come against McFadden. And Bill Leroy able to jump on that one quickly to keep Lacey and Cornette from moving up.
Mason Maxwell slaps this one foul. Boy, Lacey looked like he had 3rd base stolen. Tremendous jump. And Mason Maxwell on the play fouls out to a fan. 2nd foul out to a fan of the ball game. They have both gone against the Firefighters.
Well, Noah Nisnik entered this game tied for the tour lead in foul-outs to fans, at least induced foul-outs to fans. Now he is 2 above 2nd place. His teammate Danny Hosley at the hot corner.
From 2 on with nobody out to 2 on with 2 down. Ron Franklin trying to make it 3 straight innings with a Firefighters offense. Gave Neil Lang something to work with. Hot boy Ron tattooed a ball straight to Hosley at 3rd his first time. Lined out. He's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. The fans foaming at the mouth for donuts. It would take a strikeout. They could ruin their chance right here. No, that one clips off one of the wires holding the net, so no chance for a fan to make a play on it. 3 balls and a strike on the pride of New Orleans, Louisiana.
And Nisnik has continued to try and challenge batters with the heater up in the zone. However, he has not been able to place that fastball up very consistently, although that is what he's been trying to do all night long. Gets the swing and miss from Franklin to run the count full.
Runners are off. Bouncer is foul, just barely. Hosley gave it a good effort, snuck by him. That was less than an inch from potentially being extra bases and 1 or 2 runs scored. Runners will be off again. Swing and a miss. Noah Nisnik. Perfectly placed fastball. Huge punch out to strand a pair.
And now Franklin Jr. has a strikeout in 5 of his last 6 games for the Firefighters. He was a man who posted a 32% strikeout rate throughout most of his collegiate career. And that is exactly why he was picked as tonight's donut batter, and it pays off for all our fans in DC.
Another look At strikeout number 3 on the night for Niz Nasty, and we'll get it on down to Jolie Chabala for our Bananas Foster family of the night.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the field, Jolie Chabala.
Across the United States, there are over 400,000 children and teens in foster care without a permanent home. Look around. That's enough to fill Nationals Park 10 times with children and teens experiencing foster care. To raise awareness and support this community, we created Bananas Foster, the official nonprofit of Banana Ball. Our organization is dedicated to celebrating the foster care community while educating and inspiring others to get involved. Tonight, we are celebrating the Jewel family. Trisha works for a local nonprofit that supports foster families, and Stuart is a police officer right here in Washington, D.C. They have been a licensed foster family for 5 years and have welcomed 10 children into their home. But tonight, we are also celebrating Kayla Holmes. You see, June is National Reunification Month, and a time that we recognize the goal of foster care, which is reunification with biological families. Kayla's son was placed into foster care with the Jewel family, and this family walked alongside her and her son until last year when they were officially reunified together. Fans, please welcome to the field and help us celebrate both Kayla and the Jewel family for making a difference right here in the foster care community.
It's always such a beautiful moment when we get to celebrate the superheroes in the foster care community. Another big shout out to the Jewel family. Trisha and Stuart, absolute superstars here in the foster care community in our nation's capital. And you can text Bananas to 50155 to support Bananas Foster. Another fun opportunity for you folks coming up 2026, February 9th through 13th. You can cruise with us from Tampa, Florida to Cozumel, Mexico. Right now you get to look at the filming of Mamma Mia, a full boat music video. I can promise there will be a round 2 on a full cruise ship music video, plus many more fun activities. Lots of opportunities to get involved in some Banana Ball content. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait to set sail once again with all our friends here in Banana Land.
I mean, there are going to be music videos. Party Down's going to be playing on the ship.
Party Down!
You're going to get some karaoke, maybe even from me and Biko. You never know. We won't count it out. It's surely going to be a grand time. And, of course, all 6 Banana Ball teams that are going to play next year will be on this version of Banana Land at Sea.
Yes, this is an opportunity that will not last forever, though. There are less than 100 cabins that you can grab right now.
People, if you're looking to meet KJ, maybe Noah, I think it's a good idea to sign up for this cruise.
I would be surprised after you said that if the 100 cabins are going to last the rest of the night. Holy moly.
Or Biko.
Yep, I will. It's a great opportunity to meet Biko, too. Danny Hosley in the 9-hole with a high fly ball deep to right. And moseying back, Noah Bridges for out number 1. This is the first inning tonight that Neil Lang has not had any run support, so Noah taking no chances out there in left. I do not blame him. And Jackson Olsen in the 10-hole with some special sauce for us right here as he comes to the dish. bells and whistles on that one. Jackson with a declaration here in Washington, D.C. that he's a supernova girl. You ever watch whatever that's from, Josh? Some Disney Channel classic.
I actually have not seen that Disney Channel original.
Original, that's what they call him. Tapped to second base. Liam Spence is going to punt it to first. What a stretch. Oh, no. First base umpire Daniel Pritchett says that Stephen Cullen was dragged off the bag. He's got a much better view than I, but it looked like Cullen dragged his foot pretty well. We'll get another look, see if the Firefighters challenge. That's a miraculous. Oh, what? They should challenge this play.
I see, on my first glance, I don't see foot on the bag at all there.
Really?
Yes.
Like he never had his foot on the bag, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Now, I respect the Paul O'Neill kick try there for Liam Spence. The second base position is the perfect place to attempt a trick play of that nature.
Well struck by D.R. Meadows. A backpedaling Noah Bridges handles it, though. And Olsen retreats back to first. 2 outs now. What's the official scoring on that? Because I don't think you can rule it a trick play missed if Stephen Cullen was never on first base.
I think you do. I think it still drags him off.
But what? I don't know. I guess I'll have to look back at it. I thought when you were saying he was never on first, that he literally was never on first. You're saying he was on first but got dragged off by the kick?
It almost appeared as if foot wasn't on the bag to begin with.
And I don't think you could rule it a trick play missed for Spence then. I think you'd have to rule it in E3.
I got one look at it.
Yeah, that's
going to be cautious about it.
All right, it's under review, everybody. If you're scoring at home, it's under review. Because, hypothetically, 1-2 count here on Ty Jackson. If the foot's never on the bag and Spence kicks it right to the chest of Stephen Cullen, Jackson's still going to be safe because the foot's not on the bag. This would be an incredible play by the fans. They do not make it. Ty singled his first time. Slapped the ball back up the middle. He's a tough cookie at the dish with 2 strikes. Shows you there. Great pitch by Neil Lang. Spoiled, and Ty's barking at him.
This is just what you get out of Ty Jackson. And this is stuff he was doing all the way back in college as well. This isn't a strict thing that he's brought into Banana Ball. Always a pesky hitter, getting himself, his dugout fired up, maybe even intimidating the pitcher a little bit on the mound.
2-2. Another foul ball, another chance for the fans. They don't make the catch. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that ruffled some feathers during his East Georgia State college days when he was an absolute behemoth offensively for the Bobcats. Of course, he took it with him down to Florida A&M as well. Another opportunity for the fans. Once again, they do not make the play. This is just Ty Jackson, folks, and it's one of the most special characters in Banana Land history because of it. Guy was built to be here. Pokes this one into center. Ron Franklin waits a long time, now coming in, and he is going to call off Peanut. For out number 3, Neil Lang puts up an important goose egg. And it is still 1-1 with 3 innings in the books. We'll get it down to the field for a Secret Service shutdown.
That are in the Secret Service. Maybe one of the coolest jobs ever. And so we had a game to celebrate it here because we have a Secret Service tryout here. Over here you can see I have one of our presidents. This is President Desmond, everybody. And this is Secret Agent Nate. Nate's job is going to be to try to protect the president from coming under fire from water balloons from our players. But we're going to turn it into a competition. Marshall Schill, who do you have over there on the third base dugout?
What's going on, DC? So, we have a very special president here, President Lincoln here, and with his secret agent, Mr. T. Alrighty, so let's see what we got here, Mr.
All right,
Professor.
whichever agent gets hit the most and protects their president is the winner. Agents, get in front of your presidents. Here we go. On your mark, get set, go. Oh,
and we got 1, 2.
Come on, President.
Oh.
Oh, that was was a wicked shot.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop!
All right. Oh, no more. All right, Marshall, I want to know, Marshall, how many hits do you have over on your side?
He only got hit one time, baby. That was our...
How many was that?
He only got hit one time. Everything else was deflected.
We got 5. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners over on the first base side.
A little fun DC-themed promotion there. Jared Donaldson, the new man on the mound for the Nanners, so Noah Nisnik gone after 3 innings of work, and the Banana splitter specialist fires a fastball wide to Stephen Cullen. Bottom 3 in the order for the Firefighters. Whoa, talk about getting your hands in. Cullen was ready for that. He peppered a ball off the dead center field wall about halfway up his first time. I mean, tested the limits of Nationals Park. Got 2 bases for his troubles. Now a 2-1 from Donnie. And some housekeeping, that Jackson Olsen grounder a half inning ago. Officially a trick play missed for Liam Spence, TPM 4. We were able to review the footage and see that Cullen did have his foot on the bag before the kick, and then the footwork, he wasn't able to make the toe drag work. So it was the punted ball over by Spence that caused Cullen to leave the bag. And how about that? A 3-2 splitter from Donnie in the zone. He gets the punch out.
Well, Jared Donaldson has split time between the rotation and the bullpen this season for the Bananas. It's just been about an even split, but the numbers have been wildly better for Donnie in relief, as he has a 3.57 earned run average across 17 2/3 innings of relief with 11 strikeouts, and has averaged 3 outs in 3 minutes and 19 seconds.
Look out, Peanut. His former CPL Bananas teammate nearly took his head off. Donnie says, my bad. 2-0 to the Firefighters shortstop. Peanut fouled out. Oh, now peppers that one off of Split's heel. And the rain continuing to come down. I'll call it a thick misting as this one scolded right to rack. Well struck by the kid out of Berry Hill, Oklahoma. Nothing to show for his barrel though, and a quick 2 outs for Donnie. Now Noah Bridges digs in. No 2 count on the Firefighters left fielder, who doesn't even think about offering up at the 0-2. Noah beat out a bouncer to the right side for an infield single his first time. Tries to hold up. Did he go? No, says third base umpire Eric Goldstein. So Deuce is wild now. Called strike 3. Splitter scrapes the bottom of the zone. Donnie front flips off the field after a 1-2-3 inning with a pair of Ks.
2 punch-outs for Jared Donaldson and 2 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock for the righty, throwing the first 3-up, 3-down inning of any pitcher in tonight's ball game.
Big boost for the Nanners. They could take the lead with just 1 run in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll get it down to the young professor for over 41,000 fans getting a little hey baby in.
I also need you to put your hands up in the air, hands way up in the air, because it's time for a little hey baby. All right, clap it out, here we go. We want to hear you sing. Give it out, DC.
was the district. This place was built for banana ball, and Nolan Daniel built to be at the center of it all. First man out of the pen for the Firefighters.
Nono has allowed walk-offs in 2 of his first 3 appearances this season, and although it's early in the year, Daniel's sprint rate has continued to climb every year since he entered back into banana ball in 2023. He's got to come out pitching with more confidence against his former team. And Dan Oberst swings at the first pitch, skies this into center field, and Ron Franklin tries to tip this one over to Mason Maxwell, and that ball tumbles into right center field. Oberst, great hustle, is standing on second base.
See Ron and Mason trying to work out where the communication went awry there. That is brutal for Nolan as Stephen Cullen botches this one, tries to flip it behind his back. That throw is, or flip rather, is offline. That'll be an E3. So a trick play missed from the Firefighters center fielder, straight into an error from their first baseman. And some bad news Bears-esque defense in the bottom of the 4th inning, putting Nolan in a sticky spot. Inning-winning run 90 feet away. One of the best hitters on the face of the earth, Reese Alexiadis, behind 0-1.
This just makes you feel like you're backed into a corner even more if you're Nolan Daniel. Hasn't had the success he would like early in 2025. But now Logan Lacey snares this at third base, and they've got Dan Oberst in a pickle. He avoids the tag of Joe Lytle, and they're still hunting him down. Lytle can't hold on to the ball, and Oberst safe at third. Wow!
This inning has just leveled up from disaster to disastrophe. I mean, you gotta get an out here. You gotta get an out. It was not clean rundown defense to begin with from the Firefighters. A little whoopsie doodle from Oberst. And then Joe, oh man. Joe on the tag. The ball bounces out of the mitt. Bases are loaded. Infield is still in. 5 infielders now. Ryan Cox at the dish. And this just feels like a foregone conclusion when you got a guy tied for the tour lead with 16 walk-offs who never strikes out and only 2 outfielders. Ryan Cox is gonna do that. Just made it easy for me. Ron Franklin, a heroic attempt, perfect throw home, just a hair late. But that is a Firefighters gift of a second point for the Bananas, who get their first lead of the ballgame.
But that is a defensive inning that the Firefighters have got to forget about going forward in this ballgame. This is what helped the Bananas win night 1 in Angel Stadium against this team. They had 3 errors / trick plays missed that led to walk-offs for the team that night. Now it's happened again here in Nationals Park, but hopefully they're able to clean things up and have their pitchers feeling a little more confident going forward tonight.
Little new age version of the cha-cha slide. We'll get it down to Marshall Schill.
Helping us out, and his dad. And you guessed it, it is Hose My Dad. All righty, y'all. So, Little Shepherd, you have this banana ball. You can get signed by all the Firefighters, or you can have the option to hose your dad. What do we have?
Hose my dad.
He wants to hose his dad. Get out of here. All right, hold on. We do have this little bat. You can be the coolest kid at your school, or do you still want to hose your dad?
Hose your dad.
He wants to hose his dad. Get out of here. No way. Okay, that is absolutely great accuracy. You would be a fantastic firefighter one day. But we have our last option, a t-shirt to be able to rep in front of all the kids, or the last option to hose your dad.
Hose your dad.
He wants to hose his dad. Get out of here. Oh my goodness. Give it up for them for being such a great sport. We're going to give you all 3 items.
Great choices made by that little legend. Excellent work on the mic, Marshall Schill. Great job by Christian Doom in assisting the youngster with the dad hosing. Top of the order for the Firefighters, Joe Lytle. Followed by Liam Spence and Logan Lacey. Little's third trip to the dish. He's 0 for 0 on the night. A sprint and a run scored his first time. A sacrifice fly his last time. So he scored a run. He's driven in a run. Continues to be in the middle of a lot of the action offensively for this team. That's why Valerie Perez puts him at the top of the order. Oh my goodness. Double trick play. Donnie to EJ. And what a snag to start it off.
I mean, things are just going Jared Donaldson's way so far tonight in Washington, D.C. 2 punch-outs, now fields the comebacker. It gives a little Matt Wolf flip through the legs that Eric Jones Jr. handles behind the back with no issues.
Diving catch, D.R. Meadows takes extra bases away from Liam Spence and is fired up about it, as he should be.
Defense shining in the 5th inning for the Savannah Bananas. This is the exact opposite of what we just saw from the Firefighters a half inning ago. Probably only hurts even more for this squad.
And Logan Lacey kind of looks like he's doing the exact same thing he did his last time, but now he's in bunker gear. Smells like a transition video from the Firefighters social media team. And it's only my 6th year here. I kind of think I pick up on an idea. I would guess the transition probably happens when you blast them with cryo. What do you think, Josh?
I don't know, man.
You're not
I don't
sold.
know.
You're not sold.
I don't know if my numbers are jiving with that.
Boy, it's got to be tough to swing it against Jared Donaldson in full bunker gear. But if anyone's up to the task, it is Logan Lacey. Spits on the slider, a ball and a strike. And a tapper back up the middle. Diving attempt. No dice for Ryan Cox, and Lacey now 2 for 3 on the night. Back-to-back singles for him.
Well, he entered tonight 6 for 17 against the Savannah Bananas this season. Now 2 for 3 in the singles in each of his last 2 at-bats. Just has to see if Dalton Cornett, also with 2 hits tonight, can keep the line moving here in the 5th.
What a shot from the crew. Bill Leroy, that guy's got a firm base to him. It's the kind of keister that NFL scouts love to see on a youngster. 0-2 count on Dalton Cornett. And he's down on 3 pitches. Disgusting splitter to end his perfect night at the plate. Jared Donaldson cruising through 2 innings on the mound.
Well, now through 11 2/3 innings in Major League ballparks, Jared Donaldson has still only allowed 1 earned run to opponents. Unbelievable stuff from Donnie and a quick pop.
Let's get it down to Zach Staten.
All right, guys, real quickly here, he's taking the helmet gear off, and he's immediately putting the pitching gear on. D-Mac, down 2-1 here. What we got to do to get out of this inning clean?
Well, we just got to keep pounding the zone. We just got to keep making things happen. Those guys can hit just as much as our guys can hit. And I mean, they're playing a really good game, just like we are. It's a 2-1 game right here, so just got to keep pushing the pedal down.
What's firing you up the pitch tonight?
So, Luke Hansen, remember his name, Luke Hansen, the kid that I met this offseason. He passed away from bacterial meningitis, I believe that's what it's called. Great kid, family's great people. I'm wearing number 5 for him, so that's what's firing me up the pitch. God bless us, we play for more than ourselves. This is a great time for it, regardless of what happens.
D-Mac, thank you very much. And by the way, shout out to D-Mac's father, Steve, retired after 45 years as a firefighter this past week.
Yes, he is. Real hero, my inspiration.
Biko, Josh, back to y'all.
Thank you, Zach. And heartfelt stuff from D-Mac. That is beautiful.
Yeah, and he is not the only guy on the field tonight who is honoring Luke Hansen. As Kyle Jackson, Zachary Bridges, Logan Lacey also have 5 somewhere on their bodies tonight to make sure that his memory is not forgotten.
We're going to look at the numbers here for Dakota McFadden on the mound here in his 5th Banana Ball World Tour.
And we've seen very positive results from D-Mac so far on the pitching side. He's had 5 groundouts compared to 3 flyouts, and has 3 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings pitched. And in his 5th World Tour, McFadden finally recorded the first sub-2-minute inning of his career last Saturday against the Texas Tailgaters. It was a 1-minute and 42-second frame.
D-Mac has EJ, Leroy, and Hosley. They're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bananas up a point. They just need 1 run to double that lead. Eric Jones Jr. tattooed a ball to left his first time, came away with a knock. Boy, that one just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. That one missed by plenty, 3-0 count. Four straight bad ones, all of them inside to Eric Jones Jr. Great sprint defense by the Firefighters, though. They get it to all 7 fielders behind the pitcher and catcher in short order. On the first sprint allowed by their pitchers so far tonight.
Well, the interesting trend in tonight's ball game, this is the 3rd inning in which the Bananas have had the leadoff man reach base. In each of the previous 2, they have earned the walk-off against the Firefighters, and they've already got the fastest man in Banana Ball on the base pass, Malachi Mitchell, their designated runner.
Flash ended up scoring the inning-winning run in the 2nd. It was on a Bill Leroy RBI double. Smoked the ball down the right field line. And he's plunked here. Boy, that one's square in the back. But that is a tough cookie right there. Bill's had his fair share of bumps and bruises across 8 years of being the Bananas' primary catcher. He's aboard for the 2nd time tonight, pushes the inning-winning run to scoring position, and Danny Hosley having a nice night defensively. A good play on a line drive, grabbed the 1,000th combined trick play on the tour, behind the back, snag in foul territory. Now trying to add some offense to the equation. Flew out sharply to left his first time. Nice bender there from D-Mac to jump back ahead in the count. And that's a great take by Danny Hosley. Count is full, and ball 4 here from McFadden wins the inning for the Bananas. See what he goes to on the payoff. 5-pitch mix. Sticks with the gas, and that's caught. Peanut to second one, over to first. Double play. Boy, he trapped it, and that is a huge twin killing for the Firefighters.
Well, it's a barrel for Danny Hosley just directly at his opponent, and Caden Green you see with enough time to go between the legs on the transfer and collect his 9th trick play as the Firefighters grab 2, and Jackson Olsen skies this one into foul territory. Tracking it is Logan Lacey, tries to go behind his back and will not complete the play. Oh, that is a really tough miss there for Logan Lacey, and it could possibly cost them dearly here in the 5th.
Lacey saw Peanut tie him atop the trick play leaderboard for the Firefighters, says, I'd like sole possession at the top of the mountain once again. Doesn't happen there. It won't be a trick play missed if McFadden can retire Olsen. But now he's behind 2-1. The sprint here loses the inning. That's just 2 more balls away. So continuing to swing. A better bat as the tour ages. And strokes that one into right center. Ron Franklin and can't make the play. He overran it. Cataclysmic defensive miscues from the Firefighters as they continue to gift the Bananas points. It is now 3-1.
Now the Firefighters Had 3 trick plays missed in tonight's ball game, 3 errors as well. It has been a nightmare game defensively for this team, and it's a second straight inning where the defense has failed them and led to a Bananas point.
Get another look at the E8. And let's take a look at what happened this week in Banana Ball history. 5 years and a day ago, this was the first game I ever got to broadcast in my young Bananas broadcasting career. Bill Leroy scored on the first ever sprint. Cowboy Kyle Lewis stole a base. We saw home plate stolen. I think that was Jesse Sherrill. And of course, some things never change. Jesse Cole calling the world's slowest race. We ended up having showdowns, a 7-inning game, and the green Bananas took down the yellow Bananas.
Yeah, it was truly an incredible game. Logan Workman had the first sub-2-minute inning in history, a 1-minute and 58-second frame. The green Bananas did not allow a single ball four sprint, and you just seen how far we've come across this time. That game played in front of 1,000 total fans. Of course, it had some COVID restrictions attached to it, but now you see the all-time Banana Ball attendance. Well over 2 million fans have been able to enjoy a Banana Ball game, and that number is only going to climb as we continue this World Tour, as the Bananas from here on out on the road are playing in Major League ballparks.
Correll Prime, guy who spent 7 years in minor league baseball, takes center stage, second man out of the pen after Jared Donaldson provides 2 scoreless innings and earns points on the pair of them for the Nanners. Coda McFadden wasn't able to get it done with the arm. Going to try and provide something with the bat. He struck out both times against Noah Nisnik. He will have to patiently wait for Vincent Chapman to shake his rump, to the delight of the over 41,000 fans on hand here in Nationals Park. With ball and no strikes, D-Mac has to look out for primarily a 4-pitch mix from the 6'5 righty. Bounces this one to short. Fielded between the legs, 360. Ryan Cox over to EJ, who catches the throw between the legs. Another double trick play by the Bananas. Superb defense continues for the boys in white and yellow.
And another that starts the inning for the Savannah Bananas. This is why the guys love having Correll Prime on the pitcher's mound. He's one of just 2 Bananas inducing more groundouts than flyouts this year. And Ryan Cox, Danny Hosley, Jackson Olsen, and even Eric Jones Jr. know that means a lot of opportunities for them to increase their trick play totals.
Beautiful changeup. Prime ahead of Mason Maxwell, 0-2. And you see the change once again. He'll work the slider in. He can backdoor it. He can also back foot it against a lefty. Tries to backdoor it there. Does not get the call for Vincent, says that one was just a bit out. Prime all smiles. The sinker is the primary ground ball pitch, though. That's what Prime throws more than anything. As you get another slider, this one fouled away. He'll work a cutter in as well. So everything moves. He's got pitches that work in and away from both righties and lefties. And he pounds the zone. It is really a wonderful recipe for a Banana Ball pitcher.
And look, he's 2-0 on the season, still undefeated in his Banana Ball career. And putting up a pretty good battle against him is Mason Maxwell, who goes the opposite way, and that is going to be well over the head of Robert Anthony Cruz off the warning track. An easy 2 bases for the Firefighters right fielder.
Second double, third extra base hit for Maxwell here in his 10th game played. And he will give way for South Trimble. The Firefighters designated runner getting out there for the first time this evening. Hometown game for South out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And one of Danny Hosley's teammates at George Mason just down the road. Oh, that was a good look at first pitch. Called ball one to Ron Franklin Jr. And the slider misses, 2-0. Make it 2-1. South on second base, always a threat to run. Couple stolen bases on the tour so far. He's George Mason's second all-time stolen base leader. He was twice the Patriots Sportsmanship Award winner. Just a phenomenal human being through and through. Awesome to have him back on the Firefighters for a second tour. And a beautiful front door bender gets the bottom of the zone for Prime, his first catch.
Good to see from Correll Prime, and kind of a long time coming. That's his first strikeout since June the 6th in Charlotte, North Carolina, as you see that bender just clip the inside corner.
Bouncer over the head of Prime. Olsen positioned perfectly though, flips it under the leg, and will retire Stephen Cullen. 3 trick plays on the inning, a strikeout for Prime time. And that is 4 straight goose eggs thrown up by Bananas pitching. 1 from Nisnik, 2 from Donnie, now 1 from Prime. They have silenced this Firefighters offense that pushed 3 runs across the first 2 innings. And now the young professor debuting the sheet race. We have brown, dark blue, yellow, and light blue. And they are off! My favorite promotion in all the world. And it is a tight one. Yellow with an early lead. The 2 blues neck and neck in second. Brown right on their heels. Slow and steady go the boys around the first turn. Brown making a big turn around the outside into first place. From last he comes. Yellow trying to jostle back in front. Oh, some bumping. Brown with a dive, but that's not the finish line. That's not the finish line. That's the foul line. Get up, guys. Get up. Light blue knows what's happening. Here he comes. That is what smarts will get you. A victory in the sheet race in front of over 41,000 fans. Yellow hobbling in second. Here comes Brown. Dark blue's gonna get a DNF. Did not finish. You've seen it time and time again as we get another look. The line is confusing. There's a line there. You may think it's the finish line. No, that line is for fair and foul. You got to go around a full other turn, boys.
My only question, are you positive that Brown thought that was the finish line, or is it just a coincidence he fell in that spot?
As a guy who has gotten to call, and how blessed am I that I could say this, dozens upon dozens of sheet races in my time here in Banana Land, that was a dive. I thought it started like it might be a fall. I think it was a dive for a victory. Now, I can't stake my entire reputation on it, but I feel very confident as Marshall Schill, the new man on the mound. He's got the top of the order for the Nanners. D.R. Meadows, Ty Jackson, and Dan Oberst. The pitching staff continues to throw up donuts. The offense, 2 straight innings, has turned that into points. This one flipped into right field. Matt Wolf in defensively at second, under the leg, trick play, of course. One of the trickiest banana ballers to ever grace our presence. And he starts the bottom of the 6th in style.
He just makes it look so easy for the Firefighters. He's collecting trick plays on the pitcher's mound, but getting plenty of opportunities at some point in ball games at the second base position. And now he may have an opportunity for another with the lefty Kyle Jackson up in the box.
KJ off the bench. I wager he will take over at third base for Danny Hosley. Kyle Jackson hitting in Ty Jackson's place. And video game numbers you get to look at the bottom of your screen. As KJ smokes this one to right on the run. Nice play. Mason Maxwell takes extra bases, what most likely would have been a triple, away from Kyle Jackson on his first swing of the night. That would have been big time trouble if it got down, but instead of KJ in scoring position, Alex Ziegler will swing it with 2 outs and nobody on. He pinch hits in Dan Oberst's spot.
Ziggy's been having really great results at the plate so far. It happens yet again. Liner up the middle past the dive of Caden Green. And Ziggy told us the approach has not been to try and just unleash and connect on a home run every time, but stay more on that back foot, come across with a really even swing. And you see another knock for the bat trickster, and another entry into the game for Malachi Mitchell, the Bananas' designated runner.
After a weekend off in bachelor party land up in Nash Vegas, Flash busy tonight. Third time on the bags. That ball is smoked foul. Look out, folks. Golly. Laser beam into the seats from Robert Anthony Cruz. 0 for 2 on the night. He's grounded out and reached on an error. Another check on Flash. Wise move from Marshall Schill. Malachi Mitchell, 13 steals in 20 attempts this year. But he's fallen one swiped bag behind DR Meadows for the team lead. I know he would love to even that back up. Look out. Holy moly. I don't know how that didn't hit Robert Anthony Cruz. I think it went between his legs.
He megged him. He megged whack.
Marshall Schill, how dare you? That is disrespectful. I mean, I'd rather you hit the guy than meg him. Right down the road from the home of DC United. They'd be throwing hands over there on the soccer pitch if that happened. What a scoop. That is a stupendous defensive play by Joe Lytle to keep Flash on first. 2-2 now with 2 down. Bouncer to first. Whoa, Cullen! Oh my gosh. Just barely beats Rack to the bag. Unique out call from David Pritchett. Nearly blew a tire trying to get over to first, but the dive just ahead of Cruz. The fans are going to challenge the call on the play. We need clear and obvious evidence to overturn the call made by first base umpire David Pritchett. And I think we're seeing the exact opposite. If we could not have the Flames, that would definitely be very helpful. What are we doing? That's a riot, though. From what I'm seeing on this angle, the call is upheld.
I agree. I see glove on corner of bag before Rack is able to get a foot there.
Tremendous hustle by both ball players. Marshall Schill, unfortunately,
not going to get it from that angle,
is screening us on that angle. This is a great look at it. We could go a little slower. From what I'm seeing, you cannot overturn this call.
I agree.
15 seconds left, but I don't think we're going to see anything else. Call stands.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Tell you what, great use of the fan challenge, though. That's about as bang-bang as they get. Let's get a little Firefighters cast call here, because this is a squad that is fresh off their first headlining weekend. You got the calendar crew at every one of these Firefighters games. They are the foil to the Bananas. Matt Wolf, I mean, that guy's been here since 2022. This is World Tour number 4 for the trickiest pitcher in all of Banana Land. The Fire Line, the Firefighters' own band. And boy, do they play the heck out of those drums. Can't forget Bo the Beaver. Mascot was unveiled last weekend in Richmond, Virginia. Beavers are nature's firefighters. Look it up, folks. There's some great podcasts out there about it. And Chief the Bat Dog, the belle of the ball. What a superstar. Fans were going absolutely bonkers in the home of the Richmond Flying Squirrels last weekend. And another look at the trick play from Matt Wolf. That's what kicked off our bottom of the 6th inning. We just closed out right on time.
Yeah, just so cool to get a look at the cast of the Firefighters. Also, that trick play from Matt Wolf, who's done something very unique and kind of taken an approach similar to Jake Skull, who decided to adopt X on the back of his jersey. Matt Wolf is just an exclamation mark this year, and that trick play certainly came with an exclamation mark as well.
Full house here in Nationals Park. Over 41,000 fans on hand in this beautiful Banana Ball Arena, built in 2008. This is year 18 of Nats Park's existence. And the second time we get a Banana Ball game. We'll be back in action tomorrow night. Bananas and Firefighters round 2, Electric Boogaloo. Right back here on Bananas YouTube channel, as well as ESPN2, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. 9, 10, and 1 due to swing it here for the Firefighters. Caden Green takes the slider in for strike 1. Noah Bridges on deck. Joe Lytle in the hole. Check swing. Fouled away, 0-2. Big swing and a miss. Peanut. The first strikeout of his Banana Ball career. Correll Prime with a nasty bender to get the job done.
Yeah, and that slider's looking very nice for Correll Prime. Throws Ron Franklin last inning, and Peanut couldn't resist trying to connect with that one. And goes down swinging as Noah Bridges struck out looking his last time up at the plate.
That was against Jared Donaldson. He gets to face Prime for the first time tonight. 2 balls and no strikes. Noah 1 for 2. Legged out an infield single his first time up. Pride of Four Oaks, North Carolina. It's a big hullabaloo about the hometown. His brother Zachary Bridges, when he reported to Swole, said that, you know what, let's just make it easier. I'll say I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. Oh, backflip catch! Forget story time! Robert Anthony Cruz, dazzling backflip catch for out number 2.
The former Washington Nationals minor leaguer breaks out the rack flip yet again back in Nats Park. An unbelievable play for the Nanners left fielder, who just continues to up the ante this season. That is now his 27th rack flip of 2025, and said the goal coming into the tour was 40.
Cruz is well on his way, the former Nationals minor leaguer, dazzling the full capacity crowd here in our nation's capital. Back to the top of the order we go. And a 1-1 count on Joe Lytle, who tried to send that thing to the Capitol building. Liner, nice snag, Kyle Jackson. Called strike. Makes the catch and the call himself. And an easy breezy 1-2-3 inning for Prime and company. Middle of the 7th inning. Nanners still lead 3-1. And let's talk shop, because tomorrow night, right on time, Robert Anthony Cruz is going to be all over the broadcast. It is going to be the Rack Show. We're going to have him mic'd up a multitude of times, out in the field, swinging the bat. He's really going to be a third broadcaster for us on ESPN2 and YouTube. It's going to be a thrill to have so much insight from Rack back here in the park of his old big league club.
Yeah, it makes this somewhat of a special homecoming for Robert Anthony Cruz.
That was as good as a bunt.
Now we get a live look in over in Louisville, Kentucky. You see Jake Lialios with a wild one getting away from Mike Fabasis, as, believe it or not, it's the visitors rebounding so far on night 2 and leading 3-1 right now against the boys in black and pink.
That's with 3 runs home here in the top of the 8th inning and a chance for plenty more. This is a powerful visitors team. Got their feet underneath them last night. in their first ever Banana Ball game played for everybody sans carrot to clue. Fell to the party animals and are back with a vengeance here tonight.
I mean, they came out uber aggressive last night. That was part of the reason it was such a quick game. The party animals had quick walk-offs against them, 4 in fact. And on the visitor side of things, they only saw 115 total pitches last night and were really going all over Delano.
Dakota Stilts Albritton is going to pinch hit for Reese Alexiadis to kickstart the last of the 7th. As you can see Marshall Schill out there for another inning of relief. It'll be interesting to see the Sidewinder try and find the elevated zone of the tallest athlete in the world. He did it. He'll do the trick. Quick 0-2 count. Fouled away, great opportunity for the fans. They don't catch it. Another life for Albritton. This one bounced to the right side, diving play. Stephen Cullen from his knees bounces it to Schill, who has some fancy footwork for us, and taps the bag just ahead of Stilts hustling down the line.
Well, it's a good piece off the bat of Dakota Stilts Albritton. Stephen Cullen not expecting him to hit that one over to the opposite side of the diamond, and still has the wherewithal to gather that and give a perfect bounce pass to Marshall Schill for the first out of the 7th.
Here's the red-hot Ryan Cox. Singles in the 2nd and 4th inning, the latter of which won the frame for the Nanners. Gave the boys in white and yellow a lead they have not relinquished. Behind 1 and 2. He's got to look out for 6 different pitches out of 2 different arm slots from Schill. He is a funky fellow on the bump. Look out. That one high and tight. 2-2 now. And the count runs full, as it so often does with the glove magician at the dish. As pesky a hitter as you will find this side of the Mississippi. Payoff pitch. Back up the middle. Backhanded by Matt Wolf. Between the legs, 360 behind the back, over to first, just in the nick of time. Unbelievable trickery.
I mean, this is just what you're getting from Matt Wolf. It almost feels like he's spamming a video game controller when he's collecting these trick plays. You're going to get a minimum of 2 to 3 different tricks every time he's completing one of these sensational plays for the Firefighters.
It's been this part of the order that has been so powerful for the Nanners so far tonight. 2-0 count on EJ. Cox, Jones Jr., and Leroy, who is on deck. Neither of them had been retired coming into this frame. Schill able to get Cox behind the former Mariners and Twins minor leaguer 3-0. Right down the chute. Still EJ's count. And Schill able to work it back full. Marshall trying to produce the first 1-2-3 inning for the Firefighters defensively so far tonight. He's a strike away. Nice fight by EJ. Too close to take. We'll do it again.
Eric Jones Jr. across his banana ball career has continued to be a killer against the Firefighters. Batted over 400 against them last season. And now trying to see if he can connect with one big one. Instead, Marshall Shield running this inside. And it's the second sprint earned by Eric Jones Jr. tonight. But he'll be content with one base.
He loves a free pass. Why not? He's up to 18 sprints on the year compared to 13 strikeouts. A really impressive ratio, especially for a power hitter. And now the Nanners have the inning-winning run aboard. Bill Leroy, a walk-off double his first time. He was plunked his last trip to the dish. Seeing the ball well as of late. EJ got a killer jump. He decides not to run. Snap throw by Leto behind him, and he's back to first safely. EJ a perfect 4 for 4 in his stolen base tries on the tour. Does not run often, but he picks his times very wisely, and Bill Leroy picks his spot to fire that ball through the infield very wisely. Just like EJ in front of him, he's reached base all 3 times tonight.
Well, we mentioned EJ was a Firefighters killer last year. Bill Leroy so far is 5 for 7 against the Firefighters with a ball 4 sprint and a hit by pitch. He's just getting on base any way possible right now.
Yeah, reaching base 7 out of 9 times against the boys. Can't complain with that. Big spot here for Dalton Malden. Makes the first pitch wide. Pinch hitting here for Danny Hosley, who is getting loose, preparing to pitch the 9th inning. And Dalton ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. The songbird of our generation continues to put up quality at-bats every time he gets the call off the bench. Such a tough thing to do. Healthy hack as he fouls that one straight back. All the while performing every day out on the party plaza, often in the pregame ceremonies here on the field as well. Wonderful sweeper there to even up the count. Back up the middle, Dalton Malden in the clutch. EJ's getting the wave around. Throw home from Bridges, not in time. Dalton Malden, the walk-off winner in the 7th. And the Nanners lead is up to 3.
Everybody's getting it done tonight for the Savannah Bananas. It's another man coming off the bench and collecting a base knock. This one of the biggest of the ball games as Malden leads the team to the walk-off.
2 innings to play, Nanners lead 4-1. Another look. Good throw by Noah Bridges, just offline, and EJ able to hustle on in as we'll send it down to the field for a fun relay race.
They're going to put their heads down, foreheads down on the bat, start spinning around and get nice and dizzy. I'm going to count to 10 for these guys, but everyone else has to keep spinning until the next family member gets to them. This is called the Dizzy Family Race. All right, boys. And everyone, heads down on the bats. And on your marks, heads down on the bats, heads down on the bats, on your mark, get set, spin. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. What comes after 4? Oh yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go, boys, go. Everyone else keep spinning. Oh yeah, they're a little disoriented, but they got to get to their brothers. Got to get spinning. And there they are, all right. Big brother's still hanging in there, but moms, oh, here's where things get interesting. Moms do not even know where they are. Mom goes down, but we got one mom on the move. Get up, girl, it's almost there. Dads are going hard. All right, the Calhoun family, Dad is up. The Parrott family goes down by a landslide. Give it up for your winners, the Calhoun family.
Always fun to make the folks dizzy and then have them run around. Take a look now at the numbers here for Gage Voorhees in his first full World Tour.
And he's pitching for the 5th straight time for the Savannah Bananas with 1 win and 3 losses this season, but he hasn't allowed a ball 4 sprint here in the month of June. and tossed the second fastest inning of his career last Saturday, a 1 minute and 28-second frame.
Big Boppers here to swing it for the Firefighters. 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Liam Spence, Logan Lacey, Dalton Cornett. They need an offensive explosion. A point earned in the 8th inning would go a long way to making this comeback a lot more feasible in the 9th, where every run scored counts as a point. One-two pitch to Spence. Called strike 3. And Gage Voorhees picks right up where Prime, Donnie, and Nisnik ended it.
Third time tonight that the Firefighters have been called out on strikes looking, and it's another one grazing the inside corner, much like we saw from Correll Prime.
Nice piece of hitting there by Logan Lacey. Nothing to show for it as he lines out to Rack. And Dalton Cornett trying to kickstart a 2-out rally. That's exactly what the Bananas just did in the bottom of the 7th. With 2 down, a sprint and back-to-back singles to steal a point. See if DC3 can get things going here. Singled his first 2 times up. And was strikeout victim number 3 of Jared Donaldson across his 2 scoreless innings of relief. That is a nubber. Weird ball. KJ cutting in front of Cox, throwing off balance. Come on now! The duck swims faster than the slow-flying bird. And KJ, flying across your screen, makes a stupendous play.
That is a major league play from Kyle Jackson, whipping that one across the diamond and nearly losing his balance in the process. Cornett out by just a hair, and it is another sub-2-minute inning at the same time from Gage Voorhees, and to see the insanity one more time from the rookie superstar.
The kid was parallel with planet Earth. Jackson Olsen can't believe it. Let's turn this place yellow. Kyle Jackson, you're out of your mind.
Sing it loud, Washington, D.C. Let me hear you, Banana Nation. We love you so much, Banana Nation. And my friend Helena has something to say too.
Go Bananas!
What a scene here in Washington, D.C. Over 41,000 lights lighting up the night. And in the middle of it all, it's going to be Ben Dumm. He's been the best pitcher on this Firefighters squad, downright dominant as of late.
Tossed 4 sub-2-minute innings for the Firefighters, has a 161 opponent's batting average, and we're fortunate enough to welcome him into the broadcast. Ben, how you feeling, man?
Josh, Pico, what's up? How we living up there?
Oh, it's beautiful. Breeze coming in. It's the highest press box, I think, in the universe.
Yeah, you guys are up there. Yeah, it's feeling good out here. It was hot yesterday.
All right, you got Jackson Olsen. You've been dynamic all tour long. What's the key to getting this guy out?
Fastball is up and away, and a little changeup every now and then.
Fans, maybe give you a little help here?
That would be nice.
No.
All right, we got a 0-2 here. What do you guys want?
I like heat up and away.
We got a changeup here. We're going to see what we got.
Oh, turns out that was a good idea. That was disgusting.
That'll play.
Oh. Ben, you're about as good as anybody in banana ball at jumping ahead in counts, getting quickly 0-2 against guys. And I'm curious, right now you got a 2:57 minutes per inning mark. What's been the secret to you working so darn fast?
Yeah, my entire life, my game plan, even in normal baseball, has been to get the 2 strikes as quick as possible and work fast. And that's what this game's all about for pitchers. So it works out well.
Back up the middle, and Noah Bridges behind the bat.
Let's go.
Trick playable, 2 quick outs for you.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about strikeouts, honestly. I'm trying to force contact and 3 pitches or less and let my defense do some cool stuff behind me.
Now, you're a tremendous athlete. I mean, the pedigree across the Twins and Braves organization, the Atlantic League after that, to banana ball, it really speaks for itself. But you've got the voice to be in the booth. You ever think about doing some broadcasting?
I've had that ran past me a lot by some coaches. A lot of people, when they first talk to me, they say my voice doesn't really fit my I've had Scotty McCreery, Josh Turner. I sing a Me and Your Man karaoke. Let's go.
1-2 count here on Kyle Jackson. What are you going with now?
You want to see something crazy?
I would like to.
I need to hear you.
Handstand pitch. Barrel out to right center. Noah Bridges is there. Ben Dumb, you are masterful. That's okay. Thank you for joining us, my friend.
Impressive work yet again from Ben Dumb, and a 2-minute and 15-second inning capped off with that magnificent handstand pitch to Kyle Jackson.
KJ was ready for it, struck the ball well. Bridges, nice play in right center.
I mean, I just don't think people can comprehend how difficult it is to get on a handstand like that and throw a pitch over the plate for a strike. Good enough for Kyle Jackson to offer up at.
That is one special guy on the mound, Ben Dumb. It was brief, but it was beautiful. This is what it means to get to our final inning. When the clock runs out or we get to the 9th, which is how we've gotten to our final frame every single game so far on this tour, every run scored will count as a point. In this iteration, the Firefighters come in trailing by 3. If they can even it up and then blank the Bananas in the bottom of the 9th, we will go to showdowns. But it is a tall task. One of the best pitchers in banana ball history. A finalist for the John Olerud Award when he was just down the road at George Mason. Toeing the slab, the guy who slammed the door on the Firefighters in this park a year ago.
This is his 28th time at the center of the diamond for the Savannah Bananas. He's got 5 saves and 9 opportunities this year and earned the save here in this ballpark, collecting 2 strikeouts against the Firefighters. In his career, Danny Doodall has 15 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, and an average minutes per inning mark of 3 minutes and 32 seconds in MLB ballparks. Hoping for more of that sustained success as he's got 5, 6, and 7 due up. McFadden, Maxwell, and Ron Franklin Jr.
The 2021 Mid-Eastern Conference Player of the Year on the mound. A 3-run cushion. And a man who hit in the Power Showcase twice across his impressive college career. Dakota McFadden ahead 1-0. No amount of power can tie this game in one fell swoop, though. The Firefighters need 2 guys to get on. And they can start getting ideas about knotting this up. D-Mac flips this one right side. Into the stands, not caught. We've seen 2 foul balls caught cleanly by fans tonight. Both went against the Firefighters at bat. Slow roller left side. KJ, what do you got this time? Bare hand off balance. Come on! The guy is unbelievable.
KJ giving the fans in DC a little double vision. Back-to-back plays defensively where he's got the bare hand, whipped that across the diamond, and recorded an out. First Cornette, and now McFadden, the latest victim.
The kid is the gift that keeps on giving. Foul ball. Another opportunity for the fans. They don't grab it. Mason Maxwell. The only time he's been out in 3 trips to the dish was a foul out to the fans. That was back in the 3rd. Sandwiched in between an RBI ball force sprint and a double. The 1-1. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. A Vulcan changeup. It is filthy. The Firefighters down to their final strike. Mason Maxwell tipping his cap to Hosley on the mound. Matt Wolf swinging in here in Ron Franklin Jr.'s place. Stands in between Danny Hosley, the Savannah Bananas, and a night 1 victory here in Washington, D.C.
Well, the Firefighters still have the golden batter at their disposal. Very surprising that Matt Wolf, who started his career as a pitcher, is up to bat, but rockets this one back towards Danny Hosley, who moves over to collect it and then throws that into the Bananas dugout, and it turns into 2 bases for Matt Wolf, so count that a single and an error.
Would have been a remarkable play. Firefighters with that first base runner they needed so dreadfully, so desperately rather, and now fastball bottom of the zone. A strike against Stephen Cullen. This is how it ended a year ago. A Vulcan changeup for a strikeout against Cullen from Hosley. The 0-2. Danny, do it all, does it again! The Vulcan change is disgusting. And the Nanners take care of business, a 4-1 win, as Hosley puts Ty Jackson on his seat. This Nanners squad keeps on rolling 5-0 on the tour against the Firefighters.
The Secret Service not needed tonight for Danny Hosley. A 2nd straight game in Nats Park, a 2nd straight save for the Bananas superstar closer. And they successfully blank the Firefighters across the last 7 innings of play to take this one 4-1 in our nation's capital.
Hosley slams the door with much less dramatics than he did last Saturday night. And this Nanners team has been an unsolvable puzzle for the Firefighters so far. 0-5 against the Nanners on the tour, now 0-6 lifetime in big league parks against the Bananas. We will try and change their fate tomorrow night when we bring you Banana Ball once again here on the Nanners YouTube channel. We'll loop ESPN2, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus in on the action as well. And then we'll have Robert Anthony Cruz, Coach Rack, mic'd up for a majority of the ball game. It is going to be a very unique broadcast. We can't wait to see how it goes. But tonight, Nanners domination after falling behind 1-0, 4 straight points unanswered, and Eric Jones Jr. in the middle of 3 of the 4 points scored. EJ impeccable.
Hey, what's up, boys? How we doing?
And how about this? Eric Jones Jr. with the mic, IFB locked in. He gets to hear us from up on the 5th floor. EJ, impressive victory, man. How did you guys do it against the Firefighters tonight?
Well, we played banana ball. They did some tricks, we did some tricks. They got some hits, we got some hits. But we just stayed tapped in and locked in, and played juicefully, and had some fun out here. So yeah, it's a good day.
Sounds like a man who's been listening to the words of Reginald Horton, if you ask me. EJ, a great game offensively for you, but I think you really shined over at the first base bag. You're now sitting just 2 trick plays away from the 54 that you had a season ago. Describe what was working for you and the boys defensively tonight.
Well, you could just see really good today. I don't know whether it was like the overcast or what, but there was no glare, so you could see the ball the whole time. So I was like, you know, if I get some balls, let's do some tricks. You know, that's what we're out here to do. We saw the Firefighters have some really impressive ones in the first, and it was like, all right, we got to step our game up. So a lot of the times it feels like we feed off of the trick plays. So if we can hit a good trick play, parlay that into some good offense, that's winning banana ball right there.
Boy, and step your game up. You guys certainly did. Now, you're a former minor leaguer out of the Twins and Mariners organization. You were the Mariners bullpen catcher in 2022 for that magical run when they broke their playoff drought. How cool is it to get to play in these full capacity big league parks with wonderful crowds like we had tonight?
It's amazing. I got to be here with the Mariners in 22, and I've written about it online, but basically, from getting to sit in the bullpen and wishing I was out here on the field to being on the field, I try to take every moment I can to appreciate it, not take anything for granted, and just, you know, praises up and just thankful to be here and thankful for everybody in the organization for making this happen.
Well, thankful you spent the time chatting with us. It is always a blast getting to hear your insight. Eric Jones Jr., enjoy the rest of your night, my friend.
All right, I'll see you later.
See you later, Big Tiger.
CJ.
See ya.
Impressive stuff on the toss and on the ball game here in Nats Park. EJ 1 for 1, a pair of sprints, a run scored, and the 4 trick plays that really turned this game into a masterclass defensively for the Nanners as we welcome you back inside the booth with Josh Talevsky, Biko Scala. Happy Big Tiger Friday once again, and thank you for spending it with us here in virtual Banana Land. So that is now 5 wins, 0 losses for the Nanners against the Firefighters this year. 2 of those games, just a 1-point difference. Just one of those games, rather, a 1-point difference. It's really impressive how sturdy this Bananas team has been against the Firefighters.
And I'll tell you what, again, it was very similar to what we talked about at the top of the show. The pitching sensational yet again for the Savannah Bananas. Despite a rocky start from Noah Nisnik, he bared down in the 3rd inning, escaped trouble, and from there the bullpen was absolutely magnificent. Great games from Jared Donaldson, Correll Prime, Gage Voorhees, and Danny Hosley at the end. And the Firefighters, they haven't done a bad job of keeping games close against the Savannah Bananas, except when they have had faulty defense. And that was the same thing that we saw yet again. 3 trick plays missed, 3 errors for the Firefighters. Very similar stuff to what happened in Angel Stadium the last time that these 2 teams squared off against each other. And Biko, they've also got to figure out some things at the bottom of this lineup. It felt like it was a black hole across the first 4 games against the Bananas. The 7 through 10 hitters tonight for the Firefighters were just 2 for 14 against the Savannah Bananas, and they've certainly got to improve against that. Prove that going forward.
Yeah, it was really a tale of 2 games when you look at the first 2 innings for this Firefighter squad offensively. They pushed those 2 runs across in the first. They're touching up Noah Nisnik, who's been the best pitcher in all of Banana Ball for the majority of the last 2.5 months. And then Nisnik, a clean 3rd inning of work. And from then, 3rd through 9th, the Firefighters did not score a run. So you combine that with the defensive miscues, you're just not going to beat a Banana squad that is running on all cylinders like they are right now.
Yeah, and you saw it defensively for the Savannah Bananas tonight. You saw Ryan Cox, Eric Jones Jr. with a really nice double trick play. The same can be said for EJ and Jared Donaldson. And of course, we don't want to forget the history that we were able to be a part of tonight as Danny Hosley collected the 1,000th trick play of the 2025 World Tour. A big accomplishment, not only for the Bananas, but the party animals, Firefighters, Texas tailgaters, and hey, even the visitors. They had some last night. I'm sure they've had some more in tonight's ball game as well.
And they got a victory tonight, 3-2 win for the visitors. So that's really thrilling as well because, first of all, we all love V's up. The visitors are just, they have an aura about them that is just, you cannot resist it. You just cannot. And watching them practice the last 3 weeks, there is so much energy in that dugout, in that locker room. Coach Kroc is the perfect leader for this squad to succeed Thomas Simino, who of course is on the Party Animals coaching staff here in his second year in Bananaland. And we can't wait for the Bananas to take on the Visitors in July. Now, before we wrap this thing up, we do have to remind you, tomorrow night, it's going to be a really fun broadcast. We'll be back here on the Savannah Bananas YouTube channel, as we always are, but also simulcasting this thing on ESPN2, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. And we have to remind you, Robert Anthony Cruz is going to be mic'd up a ton. It is a grand experiment. Coach Rack is one of the most well-spoken and most knowledgeable banana players that you will find out there. So, of course, in Nationals Park as a Nationals minor leaguer, we got to get his insight as much as we can tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun experiment for us. Can't wait to see how it turns out with Robert Anthony Cruz.
It's just a little extra field access from Robert Anthony Cruz. We see things up from a certain level here in the broadcast booth. Robert Anthony Cruz just going to give us even more insights up to what is happening, whether he's in left field or at the plate. So it's going to be really fun to have him mic'd up with us.
Can't wait for it. 7 p.m. Eastern, we will have a first pitch tomorrow night, and Rack is going to be with us for a whole lot of that broadcast. Big shout out to our executive producer of Bananas Television, Yvonne Trezak, the rest of our crew here in Nats Park, and the Washington Nationals staff. They have been a blast to work with. For our folks in the control room back in Savannah, led by our director of the broadcast, Mr. Chad Reese, I'm Biko Scala with Josh Talevsky, and down on the field, Mr. Zach Staten, saying so long for now. We will see you tomorrow night, and of course we will. See you later!
Supernova girl.
We got ice.